I'm not a huge fan of hook and eyes, but whatever, we're doing it, right? Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Faren, your fashion guru. Today we're going to be learning how to sew on hook and eyes. Hook and eyes are a pretty standard closure in fashion. You see them almost everywhere in women's garments. For instance, at the back of a neckline for a dress or a skirt, or even just to cinch in a waist. These are all very good examples. So let's get into it. So this is my fashion studio. My name is Faren. So get your needle and your thread. I like to take a big long line of thread. I double it up and I take the fold of the thread and put it through the eye of the needle. Woohoo! Now that you have your thread, give it a knot. Normally the hook side is on the top lap of your fabric. If your pieces overlap like this, it would be on this side that you're putting your hook on. Placing the hook side about 1/8 of an inch from the edge of your fabric. Mark out where your hook side is going to go. So starting from there, I put my needle in the top of my fabric so I can hide the knot underneath the hook. Starting from the shaft of the hook, I go around this a couple times. And since we've quadrupled up our thread, we don't have to go around our hook so many times. You know, normally people start from the loops of the hook. I find this problematic because it kind of flops around and the hook ends up being a little bit skewed. So that's why I start from the shaft of the hook so I can place the hook exactly where I want it, and then I go to the loops. Okay, now that we've gone around a couple times there, this is when we go to the loop side, or the loops down here, bringing your needle to one side, doesn't matter. And then you're basically making little knots around your loop. Taking up some fabric, going into the loop, and putting your needle through the loop side of your thread. So just do that all the way around. This is making it nice and secure all the way around. Some people just go around and around the loop, but I find that it's not so secure. So once you've done it to one side, head over to the other loop and do the exact same method. And once you've finished going all the way around, just tie off your work with a knot, which is basically what you were doing all the way around. But anyway, in order for you to cut your thread, do not cut it right at the edge of your knot. I always take my needle and put it through some of the fabric, and then cutting there at the surface of the fabric. Okay, now for the eye side. I personally don't like sewing on the eye. I think it's cumbersome. I think it looks ugly. So aesthetically pleasing, no, not happening. So for the eye, I have a tendency to just throw that out. So what I do is I do a thread loop instead. It's great because you can match your thread to your fabric. So taking your thread, make a knot, starting from the wrong side of your fabric, going straight in, having the knot on the wrong side, pick up some of your fabric very close to where you put your needle in. And now that you have this loop, you're going to pull the thread through this loop, all the way to the base of your fabric. And then you keep doing that, taking your thread, pulling it through the loop. You do this about 4 or 5 times, maybe even 5 or 6, depending on the width of your hook. Then, when you're done that, take your needle and put it through the loop. So you're essentially making a knot. Take this and put it parallel to the edge of your fabric, putting your needle to the back side of your fabric, and then tying your knot. I do 2 knots just to be safe. After you've done your 2 knots, just cut your thread at the surface of your fabric, and then you're done. Now you have a matching eye of a thread loop. Done. If you've stayed to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit the little bell down below so you can get notifications for next week when we learn about pant closures. Pretty exciting, so stay tuned. This is your fashion guru signing off. Bye.